Suffolk Art Link, with thanks to National Lottery players. Extra time, footballing stories from Suffolk. A partnership project with Suffolk Archives. Throughout 2023, Suffolk Art Link invited people to record their personal stories about football. Contributors talked about witnessing championship-winning goals, the joys of the supporters coach, and the loneliness of a groundsman during lockdown. There was even a marriage proposal or two. We would like to thank all our contributors and also John at Chronicle Digital Storytelling for his support, advice and inspiration. A groundsman memories of COVID. As a volunteer groundsman at Portman Road, Ipswich, Philip attended games during the COVID pandemic, when matches were played behind closed doors.
My name's Philip Charles and I work as a volunteer groundsman at Portman Road. So I work on match days on the pitch as a pitch walker. And I wanted to share a little bit of insight from the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic that hit most of the world in the early 2020s. For the 2020-2021 season, a lot of that season was played behind closed doors across all of the UK. And so people were not able to go to the football. But I was an exception to that. I felt very, very fortunate to still be able to go to the games. They allowed no more than, I think, around 100 people on site for those matches. But of course, groundsmen still needed to work, still needed to look after the pitch. So I was very, very lucky to still be able to go to those games. Very, very different, of course. I'm sure you can imagine no fans in the stadium. We worked as ball boys as well. So we would be put into a whole stand on our own. So I sat in the north stand for half of that season, completely on my own, which is the most bizarre feeling. And you could almost sense the history and the memories of that place, but being so empty and hollow was just bizarre. And yeah, many changes. Obviously, we were very, very socially distant. Every time a ball went into the stand, there's a bucket of disinfectant. We'd have to put the ball into the bucket of disinfectant, roll it around, and then throw it back to the players on the pitch. We'd have to spray the goals with disinfectant before the game, and at half time and after the game, we'd spray the goalpost with disinfectant. There were cardboard cutouts throughout the stadium, so people could send in their own photo, and it was created into a cardboard cutout, so it looked like some fans were there. And some people sent in some town legends, Kevin Beattie, John Walker, etc. And then some odd ones as well, like a Boris Johnson cutout I remember being there as well. But yeah, very bizarre, looking back, even though it was only a couple of years ago, it feels so long ago. And now, we've just been promoted back into the championship. We're full house, up to 30,000 people at the ground now. And I'll never forget those days of sitting in the north stand completely on my own, even quietly singing to myself sometimes. Just, it sent a shiver thinking about it now, how different it was. And yeah, the games just felt like a training match, really, just especially at kickoff. Very bizarre. Kickoff, whistle goes, and there's not a noise, apart from your player shouting. But yeah, let's hope that never happens again. But yeah, it was a real honour to have been there, to represent working at the club still, and helping through that period, because it was, lots of unknowns. But yeah, that's my experience of working at Portman Road during the COVID pandemic.